the community might be interested in a case that I have that occurred over in the Catonsville area. And a developer contributed to a county council person of that district while they were waiting to have the PUD bill introduced to the county. And the state prosecutor got in because the developer contributed money, not in his own name, but in his employees' names, in the amount of $5,000. Yeah. He divvied the money up amongst his employees, and they contributed. The state prosecutor got involved and created a number. It looked at the number of emails that went back and forth between the parties. As a result of that, he pled guilty to a criminal charge and was sentenced to $50,000, or 58,000. The problem was, it was just the cost of doing business. Because at the same time, I got involved in the case, and I raised it in front of the hearing officer and said they shouldn't get the PUD. They shouldn't get the benefits of the PUD that, in effect, he paid for. Well, the administrative law judge said, oh, this is terrible. It's like how they make sausage. You wouldn't want to know how they make it. You just eat it after it's made. But there's nothing I can do about it. So then it goes to the County Board of Appeals. And the County Board of Appeals says, oh, this is awful. This is terrible. This is an appearance of impropriety, but there's nothing we can do about it. It goes to the circuit court. The circuit court judge simply said, oh, it's the way we do business in Baltimore County, which I thought is rather novel, you know. Goes to the Court of Special Appeals, and they say the same thing. Oh, this is terrible. It certainly is an appearance of impropriety, but there's nothing we can do about it because it's a legislative act of the county council. Well, lo and behold, the Court of Appeals took the case, and I briefed it. I'm waiting for the reply. The oral argument is on May the 4th, and I will be standing up screaming at the Maryland Court of Appeals saying, when is this nonsense going to stop?
So, Gail, what did you think about the whole proceedings here at the Court of Special Appeals today?
Well, as far as the proceedings are concerned, I felt that Carol Holzer, our lawyer, did a wonderful job of representing Kenwood Gardens Condo Association. He brought forth the case from the beginning to the end. We've been doing this for 5 years now, and we feel like he certainly has represented us in the best way possible.
Well, I would have to agree. He did outstanding today, brought up many points for the board to examine, and that many questions that many of the other organizations out there and community organizations have about the PUD processes. So this was a great day for everyone that has been fighting PUDs for years. In our area, we've been fighting the North Point Government Center for 5 years, and in Alan Robinson's neighborhood, he's been fighting for over 10 years. And that costs a lot of money. It's a lot of time that people have to put in, and you just never know if they're going to bring up another PUD right around the corner from you, and then it's just a lifelong battle fighting the county when they're supposed to be representing us.
Absolutely. So we feel like we were very well represented today, and we're very happy to have Carol Holzer as our lawyer.
Well, it was a pleasure to meet you today, and I hope that you and your group comes out to some of the CAN meetings so we can work together and really make a big impact. And I do have the petition to the governor, so hopefully your group will be interested in signing that as well. So thank you so much, and we'll keep our fingers crossed on today.
Okay, and thank you for taking the time to interview us.
My pleasure. Wayne Sloboda also attended the hearing today at the Special Court of Appeals in Annapolis. What did you think about the process?
Well, it was, first I thought many good points were made. I want to believe that their attorney did a fantastic job. But I think he brought forth an issue: where or how does law and legislation come together? That when you have a process that can be bought and paid for by whoever has the money, where does the taxpayer or the citizen have a place to come and get an answer that makes sense, that's fair and truthful?
And the Court of Appeals seemed to be very interested in knowing exactly how some kind of judicial oversight could be brought with the proceedings, and it seems like there isn't any from what we heard today. Would you agree with that?
I would agree wholeheartedly. There was a lot of reference to the DOJ and I'm sorry, the
Administrative law judge.
Administrative law judge and the Board of Appeals for the Administrative Law Judge.
Well, the whole PUD process, actually.
The whole PUD process, exactly, which is controlled by Baltimore County and its executive. They are appointed positions, and if they don't rule the way the executive wants, they're threatened with their job.
And that was pretty much brought out by Carroll today. He said that he had raised questions before, and that judges, in his eyes, was the way I interpret it, should have been asking more questions, and that maybe should have been able to maybe even ask for an investigation. But from what we learned today, that's not even a possibility from what I heard today. Would you agree with that?
Wholeheartedly. I mean, it's so apparent that we aren't included in part of this particular PUD hearing, but we know what we've been through, and it's the same thing. It's that you go in and the administrative law judge says, I can't rule on that, I can't rule on that, this is not my jurisdiction. You got to take it someplace else. And then when we went to the Board of Appeals, we got the same thing, and I'm sure that what Carroll argued about today, he went through the same thing with their PUD hearing.
Yes, and you're referring to we as being the North Point Government Center, so Dundalk United's fight with the county over the North Point Government Center.
Exactly.
Okay, now, is there any information you can share with us about the North Point Government Center and where that whole process is?
Well, we're sort of stuck at this point in time waiting on to come back to this court with the state of Maryland suing over the clause in the deed that was to transpire. Baltimore County Circuit Courts have denied or turned us down. They wouldn't even hear our suit, so they dismissed it. And while we were there, it was appalling to me that the county had their own attorney there along with Vanguard's attorney.
Well, they weren't only there, they came in together, sat at the same table, and actually the county started the whole process out arguing in favor of the developer with the developer's lawyer. So he started out and then said, oh, well, the developer's lawyer will take it from there. He'll pick up the other part of it and give you that information. It was beyond crazy to me to see them together, working together, and that they were arguing against the people's attorney. It was absolutely amazing. I could see if maybe the developer's attorney called the gentleman from the county as a witness, but that wasn't the way it was. They were actually fighting together.
Co-attorneys fighting together.
Yes, first and second chair working together, hand in hand.
Hand in hand. And to make matters worse, the attorney for the county standing there arguing, saying that constituents and voters really have no say in this. It's not up to them, it's up to us. Now, as a taxpayer, my salary or my tax money helps pay this man's salary. To tell me as a constituent, as a property owner, as a taxpayer in the Baltimore County that I have no rights to discuss this. I was appalled. I was appalled. Just terrible.
It's out and out, just plain wrong. The whole process is wrong. Everybody knows it, and just something has to be done. So, hopefully something comes from that today. Okay, any last thoughts, Wayne?
Well, my prayers are with this hearing here today. Maybe this will rectify things. I ask everybody else, who or however you believe, please talk to your whatever to help bring this PUD back into the people's hands and out of the corruption of the government officials that are doing this.
Well, I think that we made some good friends today, and they look like they're going to be willing to come to the CAN meeting, so we made some progress on all the way around today. So I think it was a great day, and it was good to see you here today and to be with you, and we'll keep our fingers crossed.
Thank you.